It's one of the big stories of the day. Let's get more on this. Our senior reporter Mzwandile Mbeje has, well, kept a close eye on the commission, and he joins us now for the latest. Hey, Mzwandile, thank you very much indeed for your time. So we've had, almost a full week of testimony from Bosasa employees who are seemingly not holding back. They are dropping names and making some shocking revelations.
Oh yes, that's what they've been doing. In fact, if you look at Angelo Agrizi, it means basically for the past 2.5 weeks, that's all they've been doing, really, coming here to tell their story. And then, these were mainly whistleblowers. Agrizi basically was someone who told the entire story about Bosasa, and then they are just coming in the main to corroborate what he was saying. Bloem, that Agrizi basically put Gavin Watson at the center of so many wrongdoings at Bosasa. Of course, not excluding himself. As we heard, from people here yesterday and the day before, that many of those instructions actually came from Agrizi. So the rot that we have been told about Bosasa, how it used to operate, is still continuing really to fill the spaces of newspapers, of airwaves, of television. So I think that's what what has gripped the nation, throughout these 2.5 weeks. And what is happening today, Bloem, is that the member at the time, I think Dennis Bloem, he was the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Correctional Services, I think between 2004 and 2009. So having listened to how the Department of Correctional Services was captured, so it's somehow obvious that someone who was in the Portfolio Committee might have some knowledge, might have some insight. Given how they used to operate, it's possible they may have approached someone like Dennis Bloem. And then I think that's why he's coming here to shed more light on what exactly happened during his term as the chairperson. So who came to him, and then when they came to him, what did they say to him? So, and this is the man really who started with the state capture. When the state capture began, he was here, almost every day. There was a point where he was supposed to testify, but I think given what has been happening at the commission, then he was rescheduled. But today it's his opportunity to state the side of the story. And we expect him really to tell us more about what was happening at the correctional services. What is it that as a committee they picked up, and perhaps what is it that they did about that? So we'll hear in the next perhaps just in less than an hour, so he will take the stand and share with the nation what he knows.
What stood out for you from the former Bosasa IT guru Leon van Tonder's testimony? We understand that he is the brother of the former CFO, Andreas van Tonder.
Oh, well, as you said, Bloem, this was someone who dealt with issues of computers. He says he was asked to delete some of the files. The deletion of the files was as a result of the investigation that they knew that the SIU was conducting. So Mr. Gavin Watson and Mr. Agrizi said, you know what, we don't want files that will incriminate us, so we want you to delete some of those files. And then he basically said he followed the instruction. But what was interesting, Bloem, he kept on saying, so as I was doing that, deleting those files, I did not want to do it because I knew it was wrong. So as a result, some of the 2 files that I came across, I decided to copy them. The reason why he says he was copying them is for future reference. He says, because I knew what I was doing was wrong, I knew that perhaps in future I may be asked some of these questions. And to prove the point that I was not interested, I would be able to say, well, those files which I had been instructed to delete. I did not delete. I simply deleted from the computer but copied them onto the hard drive. So perhaps hoping that that will somehow salvage him. But in the main, really, he was talking about being sidelined by Gavin Watson and really not given the kind of respect that he thought he deserved. As you had said, Mr. Van Tonner is the brother of Andres Van Tonner, so who also came and testified. And Andres Van Tonner was the CFO of the company. So you can see, so they have a lot of information about this company.
Yeah. Obviously, this information and the evidence heard so far still needs to be tested. Mzwa, give us an update with regards to those that have been named. Do we know if the Commission has informed them as yet?
Oh yes, Blaine. The Commission continues to communicate with many of those people who've been implicated. So they've written letters to them. I think we did get somehow an update yesterday to say that process is still continuing because those witnesses who've been here for the past 2.5 weeks have been dropping names. And I think many of those people would actually want to get their own chance to respond to this. As you know, if no response comes from another side, well, South Africans will take what has been said here as the gospel truth. And some of it, Blaine, has been absolutely damning. And I don't know how others would be able really to walk very proudly, having not rebutted some of these things. So that is why it will be very important for those who have been named here to get the opportunity as well to state their side of the story. But as you know, you will not simply walk into this platform and just say, whoever said what about me was wrong. So there's a certain process that you must follow. You must apply to the chairperson of the commission and state your story so that in the event someone also wants to test your own version, so they are able to do that. Because you can't simply come and rebut someone and then walk away. You can do that, but also someone would want to check if what you have said yourself is true. Yeah. So we hope they will take that opportunity to really apply to the commission. And of course, the judge has made it clear that he wants a fair process. And especially Blaine, because many of the people who were implicated were not informed as the commission is supposed to do. We understand this was not done because of the security matters around the evidence of Mr. Agredzi. But yes, we expect them to utilize this opportunity.
Mzwandile Mbeje, live for us in Parktown, Johannesburg. Thank you very much indeed, sir, for your reporting. We'll check in with you at around 10 o'clock. Meanwhile, SABC News spoke to head of